Annual reports. We plant the seeds that one day will grow. We are prophets of a future, not our own. Good day. I am MaryAnn Dantuano, Associate Director of the Vincentian Center for Church and Society at St. John's University in New York. I have dedicated my career to concern for the poor and for strengthening organizations that work with them, such as parishes, charitable nonprofits, and educational endeavors. Why am I passionate about annual reports? Because I am passionate about accountability. Accountability is the cornerstone of good leadership. The ancient Romans had a tradition. Whenever one of their engineers constructed an arch, as the capstone was being hoisted into place, the engineer assumed accountability for his work in the most profound way possible. He stood under the arch. Modern church leadership needs the same level of accountability. Accountability is demonstrated in three key ways by creating annual reports. First, to donors and parishioners. We provide our parishioners with accurate, timely facts about how their financial contributions are used and the impact of their volunteer hours in the parish. Secondly, to a future. We're creating an archival history of our parish. And third, to God. The annual report will affirm that we are all about a higher purpose. As Bishop Ken Untener phrased it in what is commonly known as the Romero Prayer, we are workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of a future not our own. Taking time out to reflect, assess, and evaluate is an opportunity to listen to God's direction for our ongoing work. An annual report creates a great excuse to cast vision and to focus on the mission of the parish. However you express your mission, the mission of a parish is one of building the kingdom here on earth. You have the opportunity to express how that mission is being carried out, a mission that is never complete, but is a mission of seeds that one day will grow. Annual reports offer the opportunity to create a natural rhythm to reflect on the mission and vision statements and to reaffirm the values of your parish. We celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, create budgets and annual segments. Therefore, there's a natural flow and discipline to an annual statement. An annual report is a great tool to retell your best stories, the kind of stories that are worth sharing over and over again, ones that one wants to preserve as part of the history of the parish. As we hear in Bishop Untener's Romero Prayer, we need to record the seeds of our efforts to build the kingdom so that the present may look forward and the future may look back. Leadership also creates credibility and collaboration through this process. It shows that the leadership of a parish believes in himself or herself as a servant leader. The servant leader keeps the vision at the center of all activity. The servant leader uses the power of information for persuasion, not coercion, and recognizes others for the part they play in actualizing the mission. Further, the servant leader calls forth the gifts of others to contribute to the mission. It will demonstrate in leadership the willingness to be honest and transparent with financial information and to communicate the whys behind decisions and the directions for the future. Since many parishes do not have the ability to purchase the services of a professional report writer or creator, this continuous project will call forth such volunteer talent in a parish. Finally, the annual report is an act of gratitude to honor our God. It's a way of focusing on all the highs and lows of parish life as a means of seeking God and expressing gratitude to God for all we are and for all we can be. When do we do the annual report? This is like asking in a dollar store, how much is this item? We do an annual report annually. The recommended time frame is to start approximately 45 days after the close of the fiscal year and hopefully complete it within 120 days of that date. But once a parish makes a commitment to do an annual report, this ongoing process should have all the leaders of ministry creating a special folder on their iPads, computers, or in their desk drawer with pictures, ideas, and stories for consideration at the end of the annual period. As with all tasks that need to be accomplished in a busy, often understaffed parish, it's important to charge a few with the responsibility to carry out the activities necessary to complete the annual report in a timely way. As a pastor, one might think of the parish itself as providing the framework for the report, as well as for who the members of the committee should be. Let's look at the definition of the parish in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. We see that a parish is a place where the faithful gather to celebrate the sacraments, to teach, and to practice charity. This provides us with the natural framework to create the committee. On our next slide, we'll take a look at where we might find these people. Certainly, the pastoral council in a parish would be the first place to look. It is these folks who are charged with responsibility to create the story of the parish. And it is important for us to look at who on that committee might be a representative to the committee. The next place we're going to go to is the Finance Council. The Finance Council will provide financial documents as well as other data in clear, understandable charts and graphs for inclusion in the report. Pastoral teams and leaders of ministry help identify themes and highlights of the year and can provide the content, narrative, and the pictures that we might need. One person will have to be charged with the responsibility of writing so that we have a consistent style of prose for the report. However, the task of getting information from appropriate areas in a timely way may fall to a different person or persons with key authority. A small committee from these parish groups must manage the project with one person providing the text. The pastor ultimately would be presented with a draft of the report and will compose an introductory letter or message that will help shape the reader's excitement. Do not get into layout and design until you determine the scope of the report. After the concept has been approved, you can determine a plan for publishing and promoting. It helps to do a little research to identify the models of a suitable finished product. What needs to be in an annual report? There are several non-negotiable essentials of the report. How much detail will be mostly determined by the medium of communication, such as whether it is print, web-based, bulletin-based, but we'll get to that later and look at some styles. The first non-negotiable is a statement of the mission, vision, and values of your parish. Secondly, are the financial documents. Third are the highlights of the year. Fourth, you need to include vital statistics from your parish, such as registered household, baptisms, first communions, confirmations, RCIA adult baptisms and confirmations, marriages, and funerals. It's also important to include as the fifth dimension, leadership of the parish, to name your leaders, both paid and unpaid, with a listing of their ministries. Critically important to the report is the clarity or completeness of the financial documents. While recognizing that this is only one of 5 essential parts, it establishes the credibility of the report.